Bonjour, ici Jessica Laventure.
Hi, I'm Jessica Laventure. Today we have the pleasure of welcoming Sylvain Boudreau. Hi, Sylvain.
Hello, Jessica.
You have many great things to talk about today. I think you have some very wise words to share as well. I mean, you've gained a lot of experience having been a speaker for almost 20 years now.
It goes so quickly, so young, and already 20 years of experience.
During your conferences, you really emphasize excellence. You encourage people to become CEO of Me Inc. Incorporated. Those are your words. What does it mean to be CEO of Me Inc.?
Actually, Me Incorporated is my conference. It's a concept, a philosophy. The whole idea, it's rather simple, really. I believe that each of us, you, Jessica, me, everyone, we are the CEOs of a company which belongs to us. So in that case, I am the CEO of Sylvain Boudreau Incorporated, hence Me Inc. And within my company, there are many departments for which I am responsible that I must look after. So, for instance, there is a department called nutrition, physical training, and then there's a personal side, my spouse, my son. My job is also an important department, as is vacations. And so my job is to manage all of them. And if I neglect one department, there will be a weakness in my company, and that's something that I would need to be accountable for. So by living this philosophy, I believe it makes you accountable for having a real sense of what makes you, you. And I think it makes you more self-aware and can lead to personal growth and development. And that's the concept of Me Incorporated.
And you aren't necessarily there to encourage motivation, to motivate people. What's the difference between motivating and encouraging a positive attitude?
It's perhaps in my head. I mean, I tell myself in my role, I do not want to motivate people. I do not want to be considered a motivator because, I personally believe that you cannot motivate someone. Even if I say, Jessica, tomorrow I want you to be motivated. Well, what does that even mean to you? Motivation needs to come from you. It's intrinsic. So I prefer talking about attitude. For me, my job is to say what I think in the best possible manner with nice images in a clear way. But it stops there. So in that sense, it's the responsibility of the person listening to take what applies to them from my messaging and to apply it to their lives. So this is why I say that I do not want to motivate people. I do, however, want to instill a sense of responsibility in them. I find that there are too many people in our society that look to be motivated by others. I think you need to focus on motivating yourself and stop thinking that others are going to do that job for you.
So how do we remain positive when faced with a difficult situation or a challenge?
Yes, well, I often say that I sometimes have the wind in my face and other times the wind's in my back. But eventually the wind will turn. Personally, I believe that we have the right to feel unmotivated sometimes. I think we have the right to acknowledge that there will be difficult periods in our lives. We're not machines. It's often said that it's not what happens to you in life that's important, it's how you react. Well, there are people, you know the expression, half full, half empty, and so there are some who will go their whole lives focusing on what they do not have or what is not going as they wanted in their life. And this is so sad to me.
That'll push you back instead of moving forward.
Yes, exactly. And basically, we all experience difficulties. You, me, everyone. The question is, what are you going to do and how will you deal with it?
In life, we have two types of relationships with others. There are personal relationships and professional relationships. These two types of relationships are quite different, but are there similarities between the two? For example, when it comes to building relationships, can we take our way of building a personal relationship and then apply that to a professional relationship? Do they even go together?
Yes, it can, because I think that we are one person. I'm not different with my customers or with those in my family or those who are close to me. I am the same individual. Personally, I think that it's awareness. I have a class that I do called On Stage and Off Stage. And there I talk about the importance to take care of yourself. At the workplace, this can be a break, a lunchtime, time off for vacation, time spent reading. But it's also important to be mindful of people around you. Whether it's family at home or your coworkers, you need to be aware of the impact that you have on these people. Your customers should not be impacted because you're having a bad day or you went to bed late so you're tired. Neither should your family. You need to manage your personal time so that you can be the best version of you in all relationships. So yes, there are similarities between who I am while with customers or while I'm at home.
It's a leader's responsibility to inspire excellence around them. But I wonder, is it not also the responsibility of every team member as well?
Yes, I agree. What is a leader? I think their job is to persuade people to go in a certain direction. But there is a limit to what you can do as a leader. To repeat what I said earlier, there are too many people who put their success in the hands of others. I'll say, I'd be happy if my boss was nicer or my partner was more understanding, which is absurd. That is not the way life works. Yes, as a leader, I have big responsibilities, but we all have big responsibilities. Each individual, no matter our role in society, has responsibilities to our own success, and we need to take them more seriously.
How about you? How do you inspire excellence around you?
Well, basically, for me, I have a lot of experience. I've been doing this for 20 years. Therefore, I have the good fortune of meeting people from everywhere in Quebec. I am witness to situations. People confide in me. I meet different people who inspire me. So I have a fantastic credentials. Then basically my job is to act as a go-between, to take what I see, what is good, to reflect on it, and then to share it with people. That's my job. I always say that someone who attends a conference cannot retain everything. It's impossible. But if they keep an element or two that betters the person that they are, and then say in a month or two they go to another conference or they read an interesting book, they become better. These add up. And so my goal is to have people retain the main elements of my conferences so they become a better person and they continue to grow. When I said earlier that I'm not a motivator, I do my best in the best possible way. I put my heart into it, my energy into sending my message, but at some point, there's a limit to what I can do.
I'd like to come back to the discussion about building relationships. Do you have any recommendations for people who want to build stronger relationships, especially in the workplace, or advice on how to build more solid relationships with your employees?
I often speak about a concept of professional kindness, and I am sure of one thing. Generally speaking, people tend to be drawn to others not based on their professions, but based on how they treat you. So be kind, respectful, courteous. These qualities are infectious. So the more you put them out there, the more you will receive them. And I would encourage you to be this way with everyone, not just your customers, but those you work with as well, or those you work for, or who work for you. When you go to the lunchroom, say thank you to the people who serve you, the cleaning staff, everyone. I am someone who thinks that it is necessary to value customers. It is necessary to have recognition for what others do, to not be afraid to congratulate them and to say thank you and so on. I think it's the foundation of both success and personal relationships.
Well, I'll try not to forget to say thank you at the end of this interview.
Yeah, me too.
Just a couple of final questions for you. We talk about healthy communication in a workplace. How important is it to have open communication in the workplace?
Well, it's very important. There's nothing worse for the workplace than a lack of communication, whether that be between employees or between management and employees. If you are managing a team, it is imperative that you share your vision, that you want to keep the lines of communication open so your team knows your end goal, because they are the ones that are going to help you get there. Open communication means that you can all head in the same direction together. So yes, open communication is important, and respect is also important. As I said earlier, respect people, be courteous, be kind. I've seen it so often where someone is very kind to a customer, and they turn to their employees or their associates and they don't treat them with the same level of respect and courtesy. That doesn't make any sense to me. Open communication can be frank and direct. It doesn't always have to be something, positive. That kind of communication is still healthy as long as you stay polite and say it with respect. That's the important part.
That kind of answers my next question. I was going to ask if attitude has an impact on goals.
Everything is a matter of attitude. Again, it's not what happens to you, it's how you deal with it. There are people who live through a big tragedy and they come out okay with a smile and optimism. Others live through lesser hardships and don't fare as well. We all have difficulties. It's all how you react, and therefore everything is a matter of attitude, without a doubt.
Thank you for being here today. I hope we speak again very soon.
You're very kind. It's my pleasure, and thanks for having me.